Let's kick things off with our weekly Judge Report. Aaron Judge hit another home run last Sunday, his 28th of the Major League Baseball season. It was a 3-run shot in the bottom of the 10th at Yankee Stadium, and it beat the Houston Astros 6-3 to end a crackling 4-game series between the two clubs. It was the 10th walk-off win of the year for the Bronx Bombers. The Yankee star agreed to a $19 million contract for this season and entered the week on pace for 62 dingers. That mark would eclipse the team record set by the late Roger Maris in 1961. Judge smashes his way to claiming the 5th spot here on the front end of 5-on-5. His club, meantime, the Yankees, come in here at number 4. The Pinstripers came out of Sunday with a 53-20 record, the best in Major League Baseball, 11 games ahead of their other rival, the Boston Red Sox, in the American League East. The weekend wasn't without some heartache and turmoil, at least when it comes to baseball standards. 3 Astros pitchers had combined to no-hit the Yankees on Saturday, and then the Yankees were hitless into the 7th inning on Sunday before they came all the way back the way that they have so many times this season so far, and so much of that has been built around Aaron Judge. He once hit 52 home runs as a rookie and is now on pace to hit more in 2022. A rise and a fall here in the Bronx. More on that in just a moment. In at number 3 on the NBA hardwood, the Orange and Blue were busy on draft night. Just not the kind of busy Knicks fans were hoping for, although the NBA drafts really haven't been a thing for the Knicks over the years. The franchise made a flurry of moves to build draft capital with the hopes of landing a star like Dallas's Jalen Brunson. Last Thursday night was not so straightforward for the Knicks, though. They were the busiest team, pulling off not 1, not 2, but 3 separate trades that had players flying all over the NBA. The capper saw the Knicks flip the number 13 pick and Bronx native Kemba Walker to the heart right there, folks, to Detroit. In return, the Knicks got a 2025 first-rounder via Milwaukee. That's the pick that the Pistons previously acquired in the Jeremy Grant trade earlier in the week. Sad to see Kemba go, but his injuries and the Knicks' youth-inspired direction has led us here. After all the wheeling and dealing, the Knicks closed the night with 3 future first-round picks and some extra cap space. It's no secret that they're going to use that money to try and sign Brunson in free agency, the playmaking guard the Knicks would rather have than Kemba at this point in their careers. They recently hired his dad, former Knick Rick Brunson, as an assistant coach, and now have enough cap space to make a competitive offer to his son. There's no guarantee that they get him, but they have a much better chance now than they did before the NBA draft. In the 2 spot, more New York City news on playmaking guards in basketball. This one comes courtesy of the WNBA, where New York Liberty guard Sabrina Ionescu has been selected to play in the 2022 WNBA All-Star Game on July 10th in Chicago. The franchise's first ever number 1 overall draftee in 2020 will start in her debut All-Star appearance. After averaging 16.7 points, that's 11th in the league, 6.1 assists, 4th in the WNBA, and 6.4 rebounds, that's 20th in the league, while shooting 44.1% from the field. She's a shooting star indeed. And at number 1, a Bronx star is remembered, a trailblazer, Army veteran, boxing commissioner, and community advocate, Luis E Rios was a neighborhood legend in the BX. He made a difference in the sports world and in the lives of thousands of people here in the borough. A special street renaming was held last week to honor his legacy. Now, when you look up on the corner of Prospect Avenue and East 149th Street in the Mont Haven section of the Bronx, you will see Rios' name. He was the former commissioner of the New York State Athletic Commission. Everyone from boxing greats to city commissioners say Rios inspired them. To the back end of 5-on-5, we go for an inspiring on this date in Bronx sports history. We take you back to July 1st, 2004 for the game of that year here in the Bronx. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 5-4 in 13 innings. Let's flash back. The score is tied 3-3 after 9 innings, and both teams have to wiggle their way out of jams to keep it that way. In the 12th, the Red Sox place runners on second and third with 2 outs when Trot Nixon lifts a fly ball to shallow left field. And there, of course, is Yankees captain Derek Jeter. He races out and catches the ball before diving headfirst into the stands and bloodying his face, forcing him to leave that rivalry game. In the top of the 13th inning, Manny Ramirez homers to give the Red Sox the lead, but the Yankees stage a two-out rally in the bottom half of that inning, perhaps fueled by that dynamic play of their star shortstop. Ruben Sierra singles, then comes around to score Miguel Cairo's game-tying RBI double. Pinch hitter John Flaherty, the last man off the Yankees bench, follows with a game-winning single to score Cairo, all on this date in Bronx sports history. And fittingly, we'll stick with the captain here in at the 2 spot. Jeets joined some other Bronx stars in Desus and Mero. In one of the duo's most long-awaited interviews, they spoke to Jeter to discuss his iconic plays and his upcoming new documentary, The Captain. Jeter continues his media tour ahead of the upcoming ESPN doc. At 3, as we look ahead ourselves, NYCFC will host Atlanta United this Sunday at 5 p.m. at Yankee Stadium. The team is hoping for a better result than last Sunday. That's when the Union secured a statement victory by defeating NYCFC 2-1. For the second time this season and first at Subaru Park, Jim Curtin's team defeated the 2021 MLS champion New York City FC Football Club, the squad responsible for their elimination from last year's playoffs. In the 4 spot, the Yankees will be in Cleveland this weekend, and in at number 5 in the 5 spot, the first-place Mets continue their homestand with Texas this weekend in Flushing. As for our Bronx Athlete of the Week, we'll give the nod to a former star returning to the BX to mentor young athletes. Ben Gordon was back at Hoops in the Sun at Orchard Beach last weekend, showing youngsters the art of how to shoot a basketball. Gordon previously sponsored a team in hits after his standout NBA career. The local product went from starring at Mount Vernon High School to UConn, and then, of course, to the association. In the league, he had his finest seasons with the Chicago Bulls and produced some of his best games at MSG against the Knickerbockers, hence the nickname Madison Square Gordon. Ben wasn't the only former NBAer out last weekend at the beach. Former Knicks big man Michael Sweetney also took in the action. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list to pay respects to a young hooper that once starred in the Bronx. A college basketball star home for summer break was killed by a stray bullet, and 8 people were wounded when a shooting erupted at a Harlem Raptors Father's Day cookout. Darius Lee, a senior at Houston Baptist University in Texas, was killed in the process. The 21-year-old grew up in Harlem but attended St. Raymond High School for Boys in the Bronx, where his hoops career took off. What an absolutely sad story here in the Bronx. Less guns, more basketball. Lee played at a community college in New York's Sullivan County before enrolling at Houston Baptist. He was scheduled to graduate this December with a bachelor's degree in sports management. He was recently named the university's Male Student Athlete of the Year. He led the team in scoring and rebounding last season and finished 6th in the nation in steals per game, earning a second-team All-Southland Conference selection. Rest in peace, Darius. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.